What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. It's actually been weird. It's felt like I haven't picked up the camera in a minute, and I'm not really, there hasn't really been much progress to this car other than just pulling a few things off that were on the car, but same difference. It's really just waiting for things and getting people to help me with a few things as well. But until the car is almost ready for paint, we're kind of just hanging out right now. The fenders did come in. I have new fenders, so I'm gonna do a video on installing new fenders. Those fenders need rolled, and then I need to get the wheels fitted again because I wanna make sure that the fitment is right and I don't have any clearance issues or I don't hit the fenders with my wheels with fresh paint. So I'm gonna do it before the car goes in for paint. I'm gonna get the fitment and everything. We're gonna do spacers and camber bolts, so the wheels will be brought out and cambered in. So hopefully I can go fender to lip like the rear was and still is. The rear fitment has not changed. One of the biggest things that was found and luckily a piece I can replace is under here. We took off the rear bumper, which was something I didn't film, but right where these holes are, right here, there is this piece that's a metal bracket that holds the rear bumper cover on. And when I went to take that off, it literally crumbled from rust. And I was like, oh my God, I'm screwed. This piece is like stuck to the back of the car. I can't replace it. But luckily, if you go in the trunk, there's 4 bolts on the back side and the piece actually pulls right out. So luckily, all I have to do is spend like 40 bucks and go get a new one and bolt it in. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to buy so many clips to put all the pieces back on that I took off because they break all the time. Also got the hood scoop off just because it needed to come off eventually. So what we're gonna do right now is, since this car is going in for paint and it's gonna get repainted, inside the door here, we have the door cards and the weather stripping, and that stuff needs to come out because the inside of the doors are getting resprayed and the door jambs. So I'm gonna probably look up a few videos and get these pieces off as well. I can already see a clip right there. But yeah, this stuff just needs to come off because this is all getting sprayed because I don't want blue door jambs in a different colored car. So that needs done, but my trim puller is nowhere to be found. I'm actually gonna run down and get a new one, and probably a bigger and better one that'll help me with a lot of other things, because I feel like I'm gonna have to pull a little more trim, like on the hood and just things like that. So we're gonna head down and grab a trim puller. All right, so we're back from the store. We went to AutoZone to get the trim puller, and Harbor Freight is conveniently right next door. So you can't go to Harbor Freight and not buy something. It's impossible because you want everything. At least I do. I love Harbor Freight. It's amazing. They have so much stuff. So went there, and just because it's so dark, I picked up this light. It's rechargeable. So I figured, it's cheap, try its LEDs. If it doesn't work, I'll just take it back. And yeah, so they pretty much honor everything that you can return. So it's not really a huge risk. So bought that. It's rechargeable, like I said. So it's gonna be really, really cool to use. And considering it is pretty dark in here, and I want to make sure that there's decent lighting to film, that might be a pretty decent thing to try. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pull these door cards off. I imagine that they're the same for the front and rear, but I'm gonna start with this one right here and show you guys how to do it. So this thing was like 15 bucks and it came pre-charged, and it's actually pretty sweet. If you hit the power button on the top, it's like a normal flashlight, and it's not that bright right now, I think, because it's not charged. And I mean, it's actually fairly bright for whatever you need to do. It shines light just fine. And then it has a low mode, which is silly, but it's magnetized on the bottom. And then when you pull up on it, this light comes out the side like that. So then when I push down, it shuts off, which I think is really cool. So actually a pretty cool purchase. So I hope it lasts a decent amount of time, but I hope so. And then these are the trim puller. It's a kit that I got, and it's just, I mean, why not just have some pieces to use for pulling the trim. There we go. And I've been wanting ones like this with the little like V here, because removing those clips is so much easier with these. It even has this like wide one, which I think would be really useful for this. So let's get to it. All right, so with the freshly organized garage, the first thing you're gonna need is a Phillips head screwdriver. I got this new little set from, I forget where it was, like Lowe's or something, but it's really nice, it's organized, and everything's labeled. A new shop light, new shelf. Trying to really organize this garage is so much more open. Joe's Miata is finally back in the garage, and the PT Cruiser is gone, so that was for my aunt. We had to fix that up, or he had to fix that up, and it was hell. So the first thing, I mean, the only tools you need are gonna be a Phillips head and a trim puller. So I'm just gonna grab a few of them because why not? And to start, up here, this little triangular piece, I actually could get it with my hands, but I didn't buy one of these for nothing. Maybe the thinner one. Who knows? It's a learning process, right? Yep, there it is. That was actually very easy. So this guy comes off of the top here, and then we'll just start setting things here. Okay, I was mistaken. You are gonna need a thinner flathead. That's a little thick. That one's good. You literally need this for like 1 second, and that is because down in here, there is a little flap, and a flathead makes it extremely easy if you had 2 hands. So you might have to fight it a little bit, but it's not really that bad once you get it up. And then now you can grab your Phillips head and unscrew that. Set that with your other stuff so you don't lose it, and we'll move on. So once this screw is out, you go ahead and actually just pull up on this piece right here, and they say to use a trim puller or something to get under here. The video I watched, he just pulled up. Oop, there's that. And then there's a clip over here where you'd also want to use something as well, because you don't want to break anything on these. Now, once you get in here, there are going to be 2 clips right here, and they are actually going to be for all your buttons. The other side, the driver's side, is going to have a lot more, but you know, just go ahead and fight with these clips because they are normally not a good time. So I got this guy apart right here, and just a pro tip for anyone doing this, these black tabs on the top are not what release the clip. It's this right here in the front. I was struggling with these clips. They flex and move like you'd expect, and you're like, what the heck, why aren't they releasing? This guy up front is what actually releases the clip, so I was struggling with that for a couple minutes. But once you get those done, it will release this piece from your door card, and you can set that with your other stuff so you don't lose it. The next step is going to be removing this guy around your door handle, so it just pops out with a trim puller. So we're gonna go and pop that out. The thing I hate about pulling trim pieces like this is they make very violent like cracks when you go to pop things, and you're like, oh my god, I broke every clip on this trim piece, and then you pull it out and it's fine, and you just don't want to give it too much force because I don't really want to replace anything, I just want to take it off. So that one came off pretty easily, and you can just go ahead and set that with your other pieces so nothing gets lost. So the next step, you're going to go ahead and grab your trim puller, and you're just going to start working your way around this door panel right here, and you can go ahead and get in between the stripping, or the weather strip right here. There we go. So it just clips off just like you saw, and you're left with your door panel. Now, I'm gonna need to get in touch with my painter and see what he wants me to do with this. If all this stuff can stay, that would be awesome, because he might have just needed to get behind like where the door panel lays, and that way it's gonna be clean. I'd imagine he's gonna need all this weather stripping off as well, like all this stuff, but that's really not a problem. I think it's literally a clip here, and then if you've ever seen weather strip clips, they just kind of like, they're like that. So when you put them on, you just have to stretch them. It's really not hard, but I'm gonna need to reattach that. Or I might need, actually I'm gonna need to take that one off probably. So I'm gonna get in touch with him, but for now, I'm gonna go ahead and bang out the other door cards and then jump back. All right, so all the door cards are officially off of the car. It was actually very easy, same process all the way around. So we got that guy, all these guys completely taken apart. The next part is this weather strip right around here. Now these are actually really, really easy to manipulate. So right here underneath, you're gonna wanna pull straight up, pull back down, and it'll unloop. So as you can see, this is larger than the opening right there, and they uses the fact that it's rubber to stretch over the clips. So there's gonna be quite a few of them. So lift up, push down, lift up, push down, all the way around. And these guys right here are really easy to get off with this. If you get it underneath and pop it, it'll come right out. So I'm gonna do this side with the trim puller and this side here, and then pop all the weather stripping off the door, and we'll get one done. So all the weather stripping is out. I left the clips in here because it's easier to put it back when you know exactly where all the clips go, and you can line the weather stripping right back up to it. I also labeled the weather stripping with masking tape. That way, when I go to put it back, there's absolutely no second guessing myself, and I know exactly where it goes. It was very easy, and it really doesn't require much effort at all. So moving on to the back, same concept. You have the clip right here, and a clip right here, and it goes all the way down and all the way back up. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the rest of them, and we'll be done. We got all of the weather stripping off the inside of the doors. I think that's pretty much all I'm gonna be doing today, but this car is coming along. We're making some serious progress. I'm super excited. I think the next video is going to be mounting up the fenders and getting them fitted properly, and then they need rolled. After that, going to be ripping off all the trim on the car, around the windows and down here and things like that to get it ready for paint. So that's pretty much what we're doing. It's really exciting. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm learning a lot about this car that I wouldn't have if I never did this. So I'm very excited. So if you guys like the video, and if you have any tips for taking off all this weather trim, go ahead and drop it down in the comments. Anything you guys have to say is awesome, and I love to hear it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have an awesome day.